This video is about employment and the challenges people with disabilities may face when seeking employment. I have first-hand experience of looking for employment. After the recession of 2008, my disability consultancy, Simon Zabel, took a hit, so I did not have as many bookings as previously. I decided to try to seek employment and found there were many challenges I faced, which I will describe. When people have a severe disability, which means they cannot do certain things, and those things they cannot do vary from person to person. For example, because I do not have speech, I cannot use the phone effectively. I could use the phone to talk to my family and people who know me, as they know me so well they are able to interpret my sounds. Some people cannot walk or use their hands. Some are blind, and some people might have a combination of disabilities. I, together with other people with disabilities, have extensive computer skills and good attention to detail, but the speed of my output is slower as I use the computer differently to someone who has no disability. There are jobs out there where quality is more important than quantity. For instance, working with databases, the workers have to check for the formatting of data fields and whether there is room for data to be entered in wrongly. For those people with disabilities who want to work, those jobs are a possibility. I like to think outside the box. Some people may have a unique skill or interest, such as being really good at identifying bugs in computer programs, but might have difficulties interacting with people, so why not help them find a job in that line of work? Another example is someone might be brilliant at drawing pictures but have poor communication skills. Why not help them get a job as an artist, if they want one? Some people with disabilities are capable of working, but only if they have adjustments made. This term is known as reasonable adjustments, and employers are expected by law to make reasonable adjustments. For example, someone who is blind could go for an office role and need different adaptations to do the job. They could have a screen reader on their computer. If they need to have paperwork in Braille, it could be arranged for them. Similarly, a person who is deaf could go for a job and have an interpreter with them. Half of the problem is finding a job, but the other half is the attitude of the employers and the other employees. For example, if someone like me went for an office job, they might not realize that I would bring my own assistant with me to undertake any physical tasks. Also, the employer might not realize that they would not need to pay them, as they get paid by me through my direct payments. So, I think we should make employers aware of how we imagine actually undertaking the role. We need to remove any barriers so potential employers cannot latch onto problems which are not really problems. People with disabilities need to think about possible problems and work out solutions. When people with disabilities go for jobs, I think they have to highlight their skills much more and almost boast about them. The reason why I think this is because the employer's attention needs redirecting to the person's ability to do the job in question. I am not saying all employers need that, but it happens. The trouble is, disability issues are relatively in the background compared to, say, race issues. However, some employers are great and do not have any issues about disability. If someone with a disability gets a job and needs some reasonable adjustments, they could get support to do their job through the Access to Work Fund. The fund would pay for equipment, a support worker, and even transport costs. People need to be accepted for a job before they can apply for the Access to Work Fund. This is somewhat a chicken and egg situation. There has been quite a lot of information that I have covered in this video, so I would like to give you some points. 1. Look at the skills you have. 2. Look for jobs which you know you can do. 3. In the interviews, be confident you can do the job. 4. Talk about solutions to any barriers so the employers cannot latch onto them. 5. Identify any reasonable adjustments that may be required. 6. When you get a job, apply to the Access to Work Fund if you need additional support. I hope this video has been useful. I have tried to give you an honest account of the experience of gaining employment.